member of the Prayers for Peace Alliance here in Philadelphia. I'm also a lead organizer for If Not Now's 10/7 Yahrzeit Vigil for Israeli and Palestinian life, which is part of the 3 days of remembrance for those we've lost their lives this year in Israel-Palestine, as well as a commemoration and acknowledgement of all that came before. I'd like to invite you to attend all 3 events, October 6th, 7th, and 8th. October 6th features a solidarity walk led by Palestinian Philadelphia Americans, starting at 4 p.m. at Castor Ave and Cotman Ave in Northeast Philadelphia. Participants will lead liberatory chants and hear community leaders speak on the long history of Palestinian suffering under Israeli occupation, expulsion, and siege. On October 7th, If Not Now will host a vigil at the Waterworks from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. to mark the day over 1,000 Israelis were killed in violent attacks by Hamas and other groups. This gathering will use Jewish rituals from across the diaspora to mourn all Israelis and Palestinians lost this year. October 8th is a faith-based action led by Mennonite Action and will take place at City Hall at 6 p.m. This event will demand the United States stop sending weapons to support the ongoing Israeli genocide in Gaza. I'd like to talk a little bit about how we came to develop these 3 days of remembrance, which are insufficient to mark all we've lost. All 3 days are connected through Every Life a Universe messaging and commitments. Whoever destroys a single life, the Torah considers it is as if they have destroyed the entire world. But whoever saves a single life, the Torah considers it is as if they saved an entire world. When we began to envision a vigil to commemorate the lives lost on and since October 7th last year, we looked to Israeli and Palestinian peace initiatives like Combatants for Peace and the Parents Circle. Both of these groups hold for the great asymmetry of occupation and the ongoing Nakba, as well as the catastrophic power imbalance that exists between Israelis and Palestinians, while also accepting the premise that grief is grief is grief, and it doesn't discriminate. Eventually, it became clear that a single day could not contain all we needed to do. The wounds torn open over 76 years required 3 days. Displacement, occupation, Nakba. So much death. It is not enough. It will never be enough, and yet it is necessary. The danger of these joint Jewish-Palestinian actions is that someone may say something that upsets or groups someone else, especially at events where attendees are asked to process their grief openly. Grief is messy. It can be angry. It can be righteous. And If Not Now pitched our idea of an October 7th Yahrzeit to Palestinian members saying Fatah of Prayers for Peace, he was enthusiastic and insisted that we truly mourn. I had started to use us in referring to both Jews and Palestinians, and I understand why others, for many reasons, choose not to accept that premise. When I leafleted outside of churches with Prayers for Peace throughout this past year, Sam Kitab would introduce him earnestly as his long-lost cousin. The grief contains within it the seeds for transformation. Jews around the world often refer to ourselves as a tribe, connected to one another despite thousands of years apart. It is a premise that has strengthened feelings of togetherness for Jews in the whole world. It has also cast Palestinians as outsiders, dehumanized interlopers in our communal narrative of coming back together, going home. In her poem, We Never Left, Palestinian poet and activist Susan Abulawa writes, "We are the Jews and the Christians and the Muslims. We lived, converted between religions, settled from pilgrims, left and returned, mixed with our conquerors, died by their swords, and nourished her soil with our bodies. But we never left, we never left, but we never left." I've started to use us in referring to Jews and Palestinians because we are, I believe, a kind of tribe. Many Jews left the Holy Land some thousands of years ago, carrying our religion and our culture with us into the diaspora, while also intermarrying and mixing with populations in places like Poland, Iraq, and Morocco. We kept the memory of what the land meant to us alive in our teachings and our prayers. Palestinians are those of us who stayed, continuing to care for the Holy Land, its olive trees, its divine places, its precious children. These Palestinian children are part of my tribe. Palestinian political prisoners and detainees in Israeli prisons are my tribe. Women praying at the mosque are my tribe. Hostages are my tribe. Palestinians in diaspora are my tribe. Their justice is my justice. Their despair is my despair. When I look back on what has been wrought in the last year, I am full of a range so large it threatens to eclipse everything I have ever known. It has also transformed me, brought me through the other side of something. It has given me a family I did not have before, and us that now seems obvious. That is what Prayers for Peace Alliance has given me too, an opportunity to walk with my tribe toward liberation and peace. Another world is possible, and we all deserve to come home. I hope I will see many of you at our events next week. Shana Tova, Shabbat Shalom.